Hello, my name is Damon Friedman, co-founder and president of SOF Missions. As a 20-year veteran within Special Operations, I've gone through many challenges due to my military service and time in combat. We felt called to start SOF Missions to serve our fellow brothers and sisters in arms, focusing on suicide prevention and resiliency. Our mission at SOF Missions is to empower warriors to find purpose and be resilient. Since 2011, when we started the organization, almost 3 million men and women have deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Unfortunately, the scars of war take a toll on their psychological, physical, social, and spiritual health. Many veterans feel a sense of hopelessness and a loss of purpose when they return to civilian life. They feel isolated and alone, unable to reconnect. And in the greatest of tragedies, over 20 veterans lose all hope and take their own lives. Our goal at SOF Missions is to provide veterans the tools and resources so that they don't become a statistic. We offer a unique approach to combating veteran suicide through a whole health intradisciplinary model. The Be Resilient program is a 4-pillar methodology that addresses the areas of psychological, physical, social, and spiritual wellness. We provide care through 3 delivery methods: medical clinics, retreats, and educational training. Since we started back in 2011, we have been able to reach veterans in all 50 states and have served over 3,000 veterans through the Be Resilient program. Being resilient is a multifaceted and complex issue. We know that to find a lasting solution, we have to address the whole warrior. Many challenges cannot be solved by providing the treatments and modalities of just one component, but by tackling them all. Now, we've expanded our services to include law enforcement and first responders. Together, we can make a lasting impact in the lives of warriors across the nation. To learn more, visit our website at sofmissions.org.
All right. Welcome back.
Misfit Nation, the Misfit Nation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, Stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right. Welcome back to the Misfit Nation, your Thursday after dinner show. Thanks for taking the time tonight to hang out with us. I know there's better places you can be, like eating dinner with your family or maybe just relaxing or getting ready to watch that basketball game that's about to come on. But tonight, you're here with us, and we thank you for that. First and foremost, once again, let me introduce that we are on Reach Across America Radio Mondays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on iHeartRadio Network. That's Reach Across America Radio, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, iHeartRadio Network. Tonight, we have a good one. Another brother from Cohort 7 of the Travis Manion Foundation Spartan Leadership Program. He's a proud Marine Corps veteran, served 5 years as a Geospatial Intelligence Analyst, earned his BS in Criminal Justice from Florida Gulf Coast University. After transitioning from active duty in 2018, he pursued his studies at Texas A&M, excelling both academically and as a student leader. In this role, he was vice president of finance for the Texas A&M Student Veterans of America chapter, where he led initiatives supporting fellow veterans. In recognition of his leadership and service, he was named a 2020 Pat Tillman Scholar and the National Defense Science and Engineering Student Fellow. He currently is the founder of Whiskey Valor Foundation. I'll let him explain it to you, his passion about that. He's a passionate advocate for the veteran community, and he's also a father to his second child now, Santiago, just 2 weeks ago. So if he seems a little groggy, it's because he has a young one in the house. So without further ado, let's welcome Luis Martinez Jr. to the show. Welcome, Luis.
Hey, Rich. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the out, for being a little sleepy. But after that intro, I feel like I'm coming in through WWE. I feel pumped up to come, run through a wall.
All right. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get through that wall. Luis, I gave about 7 bullets on you there. I mean, you have a long list of things I could have been reading the whole show, and you could have just sat there sipping on your bourbon and just relaxing. But I want you to tell the Misfit Nation a little bit more about you, the things that maybe I didn't hit that you want to bring to the forefront now.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, I have a newborn. I also have a 4.5-year-old daughter. My wife, she's a fellow Marine Corps veteran. That's how we met in service. I grew up a Navy brat. My dad did 33 years in 1 month. He's probably going to get mad at me for butchering the exact timeline. But so, he served longer than I was alive. So I've been around the military my entire life. And just love, helping vets throughout my life, whether that was as a dependent or a service member. There's been numerous organizations that have come in and gave me a helping hand. And that's kind of where I want to focus my life moving forward, is providing services to those who are serving and their families.
Outstanding. And I think you're doing a good job. And of course, your organization, Whiskey Valor, highlights that a little bit, just a tad of what you're all about there. I mean, a Tillman Fellow, the NDSEG Fellowship. Now you're a Spartan Leadership Program guy with the rest of us, Nugs, in Cohort 7. We're doing great things. We're just starting there. We're running our feet through the water. We're about to go to Colorado. But Travis Manion Foundation and you have a different connection. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I came into the Travis Manion Foundation probably about 2-3 years ago. I had 2 friends. One's a fellow Tillman Scholar, Teresa Jones. Another friend, Catherine Martinez, and they had both talked so highly about it. And I was like, well, I got to, give this organization a check and see what it's about. And from the moment I participated in my first event, it's been all about it. And it's great that they're using Travis's legacy, if not me, then who, to help youth be better characters in their community, and also looking out for Gold Star families. Now that their loved one, their service member's gone, it's great that there's organizations out there keeping an eye on them and helping them go through the grief that they're dealing with.
Oh, definitely. And just last week, most of us got to participate in an honor project around our area somewhere. I know you were probably a little busy with something else because Santiago's in the house now, a 4-year-old and a 2-week-old, a little more important right now than getting out there. But I know your heart and mind was there as well.
Yes, she might get mad at me for saying this, but I did ask my wife. This is like the day after, I think the day before she went into labor. I was like, hey, can I sneak away for a couple hours? Got a nice stare from her, so I decided just to stay there. But we do hope to make it part of his birthday weekend moving forward. So he understands the service that we did, but also those who've come before us and after us, and making that ultimate sacrifice so we can have the things we have in life.
Outstanding. Tell the audience a little bit about Whiskey Valor and kind of the nuance of how you came about thinking of it and the aha moment to start it.
Yeah, so Whiskey Valor, we're a nonprofit. We use single barrels of bourbon and whiskey to raise funds and awareness to support veterans and their families. While doing that, we promote mental health and responsible drinking initiatives. So it actually came about because I was not happy professionally. I just didn't feel fulfilled. And I had spent some time, I was at Texas A&M, went through a program called VetMap, and they help you identify your strengths and your purpose. And I was kind of sitting there, not feeling fulfilled. And I was like, oh, wait, I spent all this time with Jason. Let me look at the work I did to see why I'm not feeling fulfilled. So I was able to go through that material, and I realized I wasn't living up to my life's purpose, and that's to build a legacy and to work towards the problems that I identify as important. And so in doing so, I identified I love serving veterans and their families, and I like to learn about whiskey, whether it's going to distilleries, seeing how it's built, the art, the science, but also tasting it and building relationships. So I decided to merge those two things, and I was fortunate enough people believed in the idea that we would become a nonprofit, and we're slowly but surely growing, throughout the nation.
That's outstanding. Do you have a favorite go-to whiskey that you'd want to link in with to be part of Whiskey Valor?
Oh man, so
without ruining any surprise.
yeah, so there's a lot. There's a long list. There's a lot that I want to do. I can say what we have coming out. One of my favorites, you see here, it's called Blue Bolt. It's an active duty Marine. He's an active duty Master Sergeant. He owns it, non-distilling producer. He's a big supporter of ours. He's a supporter of our Marine Corps Marathon team. And essentially, anytime I'm like, hey, I need something for this for Whiskey Valor, he finds a way to help me make it happen. So very supportive of him. But we've had gracious partners at Ironclad Distillery, Garrison Brothers, and actually in 2 weeks, I'm headed out to Louisville to do picks with Blackwood Distilling Co., Four Roses, and Penelope.
Nice. While you're up there, try to check out Mattingly Distillery as well.
Okay, I am familiar with them. I'll definitely make a stop by.
That's a small one, but they're very awesome people in there. They'll put their arms around you, and you'll do some testing. You'll have a good time. And also, while you're up there, try to look for David Willis of Homefront Sit Rep podcast. He just jumped on here. He's also a former Marine. He's up there in the Louisville area too.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be there for several days. So yeah, I definitely love to meet up and share a pour with a fellow vet, and then maybe he can tell me some stories about you, Rich.
Some good ones, I hope. So in the green room, you kind of hinted towards a surprise announcement, and I'll turn the lights off on my side and let you come out and just shine a light on this announcement, this surprise announcement, and this great thing that's going to happen with you.
Yeah. So as Rich mentioned earlier, we're part of Cohort 7 with the Travis Manion Foundation. As part of that, we have to do a community impact project, and I'm proud to announce for the first time publicly that we have partnered with the Travis Manion Foundation to do a single barrel selection out of Sagamore Spirits in Baltimore, Maryland, and we're going to release it in conjunction with the Army-Navy game this year. So definitely stop by the Army-Navy tailgate hosted by the Travis Manion Foundation. We'll have some pours from the Sagamore truck, and then we'll also share some information on how you can purchase the limited edition bottle and a limited edition challenge coin that will come with it.
Outstanding. That's great news. And I look forward to seeing you at the Army-Navy game. I think I told you just a couple weeks ago when we were on our call, I will be up there, and we'll be calling the game from the press box. But before the game, I'm going to get there early enough this year so I can actually say hello to fans and say hello to friends up there before I go into the game. So this year, I'm definitely going to look for you up there and check out all the people's reactions to your new stuff. So that's an outstanding partnership, and I'm very proud of you, brother.
Thank you. Very excited. Again, it's always great when you can raise money and give it to a cause that you believe in personally.
That's outstanding. We got a question from the audience already, Lewis. So now you're on that trouble seat now. You got the audience question coming in. You're a little worried coming in. Here they come. So it's from Element is Fury. And they're asking, what inspired you to turn your experience at a mental health retreat into founding Whiskey Valor Foundation? Thank you. Fury.
Yes. So I was actually at the Pat Tillman Foundation had a mental health retreat in Louisville, Kentucky. And at the time I was, I drink a Jack and Coke here and there, but I wasn't a whiskey person per se. And looking up to, hey, I'm going to this new place. Let me see what they're all about. That's when I realized, Louisville's the bourbon capital of the world. Okay, well, let me look into things I can do there. Went on some tours, got to talk to people, and is there where I kind of had the aha moment that it's more than just drinking alcohol to get drunk. There's conversations being had. There's history. One of the things I heard that with master distiller, especially if they're aging something that's gonna be 10 plus years and they get into their older age, they'll distill things and age it that they'll never taste. but it's there for that generation that comes after them. And I just love all the nuances and the history that's built into it. And the more I dug into it, it's more than drinking alcohol for me. And it just kind of got hooked. And since then, I've been running with it, and the collection's kind of grown out of hand since then.
I mean, having a collection that's out of hand is not a bad deal. You're being responsible, like you said earlier. Teach yourself and other veterans to be responsible when they drink, and that's the main portion right there. Be responsible. I don't care if you drink. I know Louis doesn't care if you drink, but we want to see you tomorrow too. We don't want to see you sick or hurt. So let's be responsible and have that DD, or sit at home and do it. That's the other safe word. Stay at home.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I always joke around. This stuff's already paid for, and I don't have to worry about drinking and driving if I stay home and drink it.
That's right. And you can sit there and you can do whatever you want right there, and have a good time with your wife and your kids, and just sip. Or if your friends come over, do the same thing. Another question came in. This must be a Gangnam Style fan here. It's from Gangnam Yo 9. How do you see bourbon and whiskey playing a role in building community amongst veterans? Thank you, Gangnam Yo.
Yeah. So already in the short time we've been around, I've made some new friends, borderline family, in the last year. That it started off with a pour of whiskey, just talking. And then as we started talking more about the whiskey, it turned more into, all right, now, where are you from? Or tell me about your family. And now we have personal relationships with people. And we want to do things to where it's bringing people together. You don't have to drink. We're actually working with some partners to have non-alcoholic options. So we don't want someone to feel like, oh, I have to be a drinker to attend these events. We actually have non-alcoholic events at our local Black Rifle Coffee Company. We do a coffee with Whiskey Valor, no alcohol involved. We're just building community. But service members and veterans are going to drink anyway. We want to meet them where they're at and at least provide them the resources to do it safely and responsibly.
I'll say I like that you said meet them where they're at, and that's a big thing amongst the veteran community. A lot of organizations want you to meet the organization where they're at. I think it's just like you said, it's much better to meet that veteran or their family where they're at, and then see where we can go from there and make those connections. And like you're saying, say hello and talk to them, what's your name, and then sip the whiskey or sip your ginger ale, whatever you're doing at that time. Have a good time, and then learn where we have to take you. And I think that's a way better way of doing stuff. I got a comment here. You might know this person.
Yeah.
Luis Martinez Jr., very proud veteran, doing great things for other veterans. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. He loves it. As I mentioned, he did over 33 years in Navy vet, still joined the cooler branch, went Marine. But yeah, proud dad, proud son as well. But he always loves it because now he gets to taste everything that I bring home.
Oh, that's outstanding. So, still helping each other out, even though, Navy is Uber for the Marines. Everyone knows that. So
exactly.
He's always there. He's always there for you. He's always the big arm on top of your shoulder. So the big brother. That's outstanding, Dad, being Dad. And thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for your service too. I think Lewis got the year and month right earlier, 33 years and 1 month, he said. So hopefully he got that right and doesn't have to hear about that later. So it was, as you start this journey with the foundation, I know you made a big life change with the deferred retirement stuff from the government. So you stepped away from something you've been a part of for the better part of your adulthood, being a Marine, doing it, and then doing it in the civilian sector. Now your sole focus is Whiskey Valor. How has that changed for you?
Yeah, it was again a little emotional, just because again you commit to the last 12 years of my life doing that. Part of me felt like I was throwing something away, and that I was giving up on service. But then kind of having to sit there and think about it and getting a good pep talk from my wife. I'm still serving, but just in a different capacity, and it's also great. One day I hope to get paid with Whiskey Valor, but if I can get paid to drink whiskey and hang out with vets, that's a good way to do it. And again, I guess I was wrong. I saw the message come in 33 years, 2 months. But yeah, it's been life change. But again, I'm happy with it. It's given me some great time home with my family with our new changes. And I do have another job starting in November that's remote, but kind of besides, bringing in a new child into the world, my goal is to use this time that I normally wouldn't have because I'd be at work to kind of go full force into Whiskey Valor and make some things happen that normally wouldn't have the opportunity to do if I was working full time during this period.
And I think right now, not having to worry about punching the clock or going to work and being able to be home with your wife and the 4-year-old and a 2-week-old is way more important right now than worrying about that. And you're able to breathe a little bit and do that stuff while also building this organization from grassroots, which you are the grassroots of this, and making it into the thing that you want it to be in the future, which would lead to my last question. What's the 5-year plan for Whiskey Valor?
So 5-year plan, definitely would like it to be my full-time role. Not trying to be rich. Yeah, you don't go to nonprofits to be rich, but enough to pay the bills, and I can focus on this and have more impact on veterans and their families. But then also have land purchase. The 10-year goal is to start building Whiskey Valor Ranch. Is kind of the name I've gone with so far, and the goal being we have my family's home on there, but then we have a part for Whiskey Valor, where we have tiny homes for vets and service members' families to come visit. They can go shooting, horseback riding, you name it, something they want to do, it'll be there. We have mental health professionals or whatever else they may need access to there. We can teach them about whiskey. We'll do some distilling ourselves, but it's an opportunity for them to get away from the real world, be with the family, get any help that they may need, and at no cost to them. And then where we make our money is we'll charge corporations to come out and use the facilities, but that way no veteran or service member is ever paying to attend Whiskey Valor Ranch.
That is outstanding. And again, you're meeting them where they're at, because most veterans love to shoot or sit and drink or just ride a horse in the outdoors or walk around in the outdoors. With Whiskey Valor Ranch, you'll have all that encompassed, and then you'll have camaraderie at night, probably around the fireplace, the fire pit.
Exactly.
So I think you're hitting all the right keys with that. And if you get that going in 5 years, I think the sky's the limit at that point for where Whiskey Valor goes.
Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it.
You have a great vision, and of course, your graphics are much better than mine. You sent me graphics for the show, and I was like, this dude's pretty good at graphics. I'm gonna have to bring him on under my wing to say, hey, make my graphics better.
Again, happy to help. The reason they are where they are is a buddy of mine. He's a fellow Tillman Scholar. He came on to our team, was helping us. He decided to start his own business. He got so busy that he taught me, because he's like, hey, I don't want to, can't push away my paying customers. Don't want to delay on you. Let me teach you. And he was a great teacher. He actually is in education. So I'm very fortunate there, but happy to pay it forward, brother. You let me know. We can hop on Canva and teach each other some stuff.
Outstanding. That'd be beautiful. I'm a Canva nug, I like to call myself. I go on, get on there and just die, and make things happen as best as possible from my level. And having someone that knows a little more would really be great. In the Marine Corps, you were geospatial. We call you guys squints in the Army. So
okay,
because the guys in your counterparts in the Army usually stay in buildings without windows and there's no light there. And then when they come out after 8 to 10 hours, they're like the squinting when they see the light. What are some of your favorite memories of that time as an actual Marine doing a job and being with those comrades?
Yeah, so I will admit, I think everybody has a point in service where they're like, oh, why am I doing this? This is, what's the point? And it wasn't until I got to go support a recon unit. We were in some unfamiliar terrain, did some stuff. It was a training mission, but they purposely put us in an area we had neither side had ever been, so that way we could cheat, And that was the first time I got to give a product to, the boots on the ground in person. Here you go. And then them come back and tell me, hey, if it wasn't for your products, we would have done this other thing, which would lead to us having a rappel, which puts people in danger, things like that. And that's where I kind of had that aha moment where it's not just making big graphics for the commander's wall, so you can just have a big map on his wall for, for calls or meetings. It's when you get to the war fighter that's, doing the work and providing a geospatial product that's going to make their life a little bit easier.
Definitely. And I've had some great products made for me that were just small enough I can slide in my pocket and fold them out. When I cross the grid line, I can fold it and I'm in a new place, and I can not have this giant map hanging all over me. And I was able to move my unit and get where we needed to be. So as much as we make fun of you guys for being squints, we still needed you. Like talking about the comms guys, we can talk about you, but we can't talk without you. Same thing with you guys. We can't move without you. So what you did in the Marine Corps, and then of course after, you're doing the same things for the last 5 years too. So you did great things all that time, and people probably still make fun of you being a squint or whatever, but thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, every time I'm somewhere, if people, I don't like to deal with the map because I don't want to be like, oh, the map guy wants to deal with the map. But usually they'll be like, wait, Luis made maps for a living. Let's have him figure this out. And then I end up being the one to figure out directions.
And tell them that the map was made wrong or anything.
Oh yeah, I do. If someone gives me a map, I'll point out some things that are some flaws in it. But I try not to be too judgmental.
And these guys don't know what they're doing. These AAA guys, they have no idea. I got another question in here from Penelope True 1. As a Pat Tillman Scholar and a NDSEG Fellow, what advice do you have for veterans pursuing higher education and, of course, leadership? Thank you, Penelope True.
Yeah, apply. If you don't apply, a lot of us, we self-select out. But if you don't apply, there's no way you're going to get the scholarship, fellowship, whatever it may be. And you can also reach out to me. And I know there are several other, probably all of them, Tillman Scholars that especially come application season. If you message us on LinkedIn or on other social media platforms and you ask for some help or some advice, I've never had anybody turn me down when I was leading up to my application. And I've never turned anyone down because there's people who helped me get to where I'm at. So take that chance and then ask for someone who's been through the process, especially those who've been selected, to give you a review and definitely help you and give you the best shot to hopefully being selected.
Outstanding. Veterans, if you're out there listening, listen to those words you just said. Reach out, use your network, grow your network, get on LinkedIn, because if you're not LinkedIn, you're linked out. Get on there, find guys like Luis that are on there that have been through the trials and tribulations of applying and getting into the Tillman Scholarship and to the NDSEG Fellowship as well, and learn his tricks and tips, tricks, and tactics, and do the same thing you did in the military. Do that right seat, left seat ride, apply, and become the next best thing coming out of there as a new leader in your community and in our country.
Actually, I have a buddy. He's a Tillman Scholar. He reached out about the NDSEG Fellowship. I shared with him my how it went for me and gave him some advice on his application. He got selected, and then he's like, "Hey, brother, I want to apply for Pat Tillman Foundation." Hey, man, I'm happy to do the same thing. We went through that process, and he got selected as well. Not saying he got selected because of me, but he's a great guy doing great stuff. But having a second set of eyes, especially someone who's been through the process, can point out some things that may be a little bit like oblivious or not a factor that you think is important, not having gone through the process before.
Definitely. And so far, we've talked about the good stuff of Whiskey Valor and all the good things you've done. What are some of the roadblocks you kind of thought you seen when you were building it, and how did you get over them?
Yeah, so there's a couple. One, I remember I had an elderly woman just look in my face and say, you're a problem. That's a problem for vets. You can't bring them alcohol. So that's like the biggest thing I'm always ready for, but I welcome that conversation. I try to tell people, our intent's not to feed vets and service members alcohol. It's to, if we do have a drink, do it responsibly. But let's just say, Rich, you and I come together and you can't drink. I'm not going to say, hey, Rich, you can't hang out with us. We don't want to hear your story. We'll find alternative ways for us to hang out. Or if you're struggling with alcohol, let's get you resources so you're not turning to it when you have a difficult time in life. And then if let's say you handle alcohol fine, you're not doing anything irresponsible, teach you the signs to look out for. So if your buddy or family member or whatever is starting to have those issues or are struggling, you can point it out and hopefully get them the help that they need.
Definitely. And always reach out and get that hand up in those situations. And I like that you said, even if you don't drink, I'll be there, and you'll find other things to do. Even if you're drinking, I can drink ginger ale next to you. It doesn't matter. Ginger ale with cranberry looks just like anything else that you're drinking. So it all blends in. We all feel together. We just talk crap most of the time when we're together. So once you get through the crap talking portion of the meeting, then you get into the real serious stuff. Yeah, then everyone can feel that comfort, just like we did in Charlotte, as we were all trying to feel each other out in that quick weekend between briefings and then dinners, and trying to get a feel for each other to find out who's the best in the room and who's the funniest, who's the quietest, and then try to link in with them. And I think we all kind of fit in where we were, like we were saying earlier, go where you fit or meet them where they are. And I think we all did at the same exact time there. And the cohort is kind of growing pretty well right now. And we'll see in Colorado, and as long as it doesn't snow, as has been predicted in our chats, to snow or be horrible weather. But I think it's going to be all right in July. It's just going to be a lot of work for us.
Well, you forgot to mention shared misery, doing the WAD.
Yes. Oh, the welcome WAD.
Yeah.
Oh, you just got off the plane. Let's do a WAD.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we had to do the Travis Manion WOD within hours of being there. It was not a good time. Also, I knew I'm not in Marine Corps shape by any means. It's been a long time. But it was definitely one of those, hey, here's a reminder that you're no longer in shape. So definitely, my wife's been reminding me, like, hey, you're going to Colorado soon. You might want to start working out to get prepared for that.
Do something, anything.
Exactly.
So, getting the feeling of breathing heavy out of my way at the gym. So when I get up there and breathing heavy at altitude, it won't be as bad, I guess.
Yeah. No, but you mentioned a great point. It's kind of nerve wracking to go to events like that when, because everybody who's made it in has gone through a rigorous selection process. Everybody's done their own great thing leading up to this moment and continue to do great things. And it's always, for me, at least, I'm always like, are they going to accept me? Or if I talk about this, they're going to think, oh, he thinks he's better than us in this. But I think which crafts are doing in the background, they brought the right group of people together for this cohort, and it's been great getting to learn about everyone. From my roommate in Charlotte to guys I just met briefly, but we've been messaging in the chat. It's been, and then to you, we met briefly, and then now I'm on the podcast, and it's just been great to come together and see individuals who are like-minded in service and want to lift each other up, not, oh, let me do something because I don't want Rich to stand out. I want to be the lead of this course. Everyone's trying to help one another.
And I think for me and you, we talked, it was like 4 of us walking together up to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And we're actually talking about your maps. And we were laughing about the map making, and you made the joke actually about the maps there. And that's the only time we really talked, was we had so much stuff going on and so many things we had to be doing, and you had to pick and choose when you could talk to people. But we had a great conversation just before your son was born right here in the MisFitNation studio. And we talked for, I think, about an hour that day, and we got to know each other real well. And hopefully I gave you some good advice that day. And I'll continue to help you as you push forward with your goal of getting a podcast going with Whiskey Valor as well.
Yes, no, all been great information. A lot of research I've been doing in the background, and I look forward to launching that hopefully in January 2026.
Outstanding. See, goals, people. We got to have them goals, and he has them lined up and ready to knock them down. And we have another question just popped up again. This is from KJ is Prez. What were your biggest challenges transitioning from the military to civilian life, and how did you overcome them? Thank you, KJ.
Whew. So I would say at first my biggest fear transitioning was like growing up most of my life, Navy brat. So where I was told to move, I was told where to go, right? Join the Marine Corps, told where to go. I had a little bit of say, but essentially it was up to the Marine Corps. This was like the first time in my adult life that I had to choose where I was going. And there was a big fear that, what if is Texas A&M the right place for me to go? I visited once. I was there for 2 days. And most of the time I was drinking because it was football season, preparing for the football game. So that was a big thing. My wife was still active duty. So we were separating while she was active. I was, going to school. So that was, a big fear. But I regret not getting in with veteran groups and using the resources afforded to me as a service member or as a veteran sooner. There's a lot of things that I eventually got into that I look back now, I was like, man, like if I'm doing well now, imagine if I'd gotten there a year earlier than I did, right? I'd be on this path and the trajectory a lot smoother. But not getting the help or reaching out to people who have like-minded experiences sooner than I should have.
Definitely. Thanks. Good answer, AJ. I hope that answers your question. In everything we've said so far, you've definitely achieved a lot since leaving the Marines, from academic honors to leadership roles. Can you walk us through your approach to goal setting and how it's helped guide you in your post-military journey?
Yeah, I will say that the brains behind all the success is my wife. So, I'm out there doing the work, but I bring some crazy ideas to her from time to time. And she's very like my biggest supporter, but also my reality check of like, hey, do you really need to be doing this? Or is that something that's a check in the box, or is it something you need to be doing? But part of it is read the description for what you're applying to. And half the time, like as I mentioned earlier, we self-select out, right? To get into some of these scholarships or these programs, the entry bar is very low, right? Like you have to hit these minimum standards you served. You're pretty much qualified to do it. And now you need to go out there and tell your story. Just tell your story, right? And don't just because you don't get selected doesn't mean you don't have a good story. Work on it. My first application to the Tillman Foundation, I didn't get selected. I actually, like, I joke around with the Jordan meme. I took it personal, took back my application, rewrote it. And whenever I meet with people who want to apply, I showed them my first essay and I showed them my essay when I got selected. Same information, but everyone always agrees my second one blows the first one out of the water, right? So you just need to get good at telling your story and showing that impact of what you want to do, and just set the goals and work towards achieving them. I don't get everything I get. It's easy with my resume to, like, oh, this guy does all this great stuff, but that doesn't include the things I was denied for, or the things that didn't work out for me along the way. Just remember, everyone fails at something. It's just, you don't really get to see the failures. You only get to see the successes.
Exactly. You brought up Jordan before, and he was told he wouldn't even make it to play in high school. He wasn't good enough to play in high school. And he went out to North Carolina, played pretty well there. Then he played for a little team called the Chicago Bulls, and he won a few games there. I think,
he had a decent career, yeah.
Pretty good career for a little guy. And now he has a NASCAR team that's doing pretty well. A sport that he had no idea about, but he said, you know what, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to go in there and give it everything I got. I'm going to put all my resources into it and my mind into it. And I was at the race this weekend. His teams are on it. You see the Jumpman on their suits, and they are representing the Jumpman, and they're putting speed in those cars. It's just not getting to the finish you want yet, but it's going to come. It's coming, and it's going to come fast.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Again, yeah, you would think basketball, NASCAR, not related, but it's just that determination to work hard, figure it out. And at Whiskey Valor, the success of Whiskey Valor is figuring it out. Reading, using ChatGPT to figure out laws, reaching out to friends who've done this before I have, and then just using the information I have to make the best decision moving forward. And I think sometimes we tell ourselves, oh, you don't know enough about this, you don't do it. And again, that was one of my biggest hurdles for starting Whiskey Valor, is just getting over that fear of, I don't know what I'm doing. But I wouldn't say we've been successful, but we're doing well so far. We're figuring it out.
Your feet are running. You're like Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone. You're getting it going. You're moving in the right direction. You're not letting things hold you back. And if you do have a setback, you're not letting the world know about it. You're learning from it, just like you should. Everyone learns from their lesson, learns your lesson, and then move forward. That way, the whole organization is still moving forward. And like you said earlier, you're not doing it for the money right now. You'd like to have some money come in so maybe you can feed family and be comfortable, but you're not going to become a millionaire off this. This is something that it's selfless service. You're giving back to the veteran community, and it's a huge community. So you'll be giving back for a long time.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, if anything, I'm probably losing money. I put more of my own money into this than we're getting from other places.
It'll turn around. It's going to turn around. I feel it. I'm giving you the good vibes. I'm sending the good vibes to you now.
Thank you.
Another question came in. I think I just lost it in here somewhere, though. Oh, maybe it didn't even pop in there yet. It came up on this screen. It'll come in there. So I'll kick them down. That's what it was. There it is. So it's another great name. Kick them down wants to know, what inspired you to pursue a career in geospatial intelligence, and how is that transition? How did that transition into your role as a Lidar Image Scientist when you're working for the government?
Yeah, so I didn't know what geospatial intelligence was. I wanted to do intel going into the Marine Corps. And then for those of you aware, I wanted to be an O231, all source analyst. They kind of they're jack of all trades, master of none. They do great work, but that's what I wanted to do. Because I scored certain scores on the ASVAB, they're like, you're going to be a geospatial intelligence analyst. And I was like, a what? And I remember my dad printing things out and sending it to me at boot camp of, hey, this is what we were able to find. There's not much information on the internet. Do with this. And then I remember a drill instructor having some choice words. You're the reason we got lost on patrols. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get people lost. Had no idea what it was. And if he had asked me before during the Marine Corps, hey, you're going to do this, I would have told you, no, I don't want to do that. But went to school after the Marine Corps. I had some great leadership who told me, hey, if you want to get paid well, go specialize. Don't do the general stuff. Go get a specialized skill. And then my research was mapping indoor environments, building 3D models. And I was able to turn that into an internship, and through internship, move into my role as a Lidar scientist.
Wow, that's outstanding. And you took that, and now this is total opposite going into the nonprofit world, the business world. Who was your biggest mentor to push you into as you started to grow the business or grow the idea for Whiskey Valor? Who was your biggest mentor or mentors as you pushed forward?
Man, there's a ton of people. I would say one of the first ones that come to mind, he's on our board. His name's Marshall Barr. He's a fellow Tillman Scholar. And it's a funny story. We met for the first time last summer at the Pat Tillman Leadership Summit. We're waiting in line to get omelets. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm Luis, 2020 Scholar. He introduces himself. I'm like, what do you do? He said, well, I'm a doctor of medicine. I specialize in addictive medicine and veterans. And I was like, so alcoholism? He's like, well, that's one of the things, but yes. And I was like, well, I have this idea. I was like, your career, your specialty is going to be the one that tells me it's a bad idea. You don't need to be, pushing alcohol on veterans. You're crazy. Leave it alone. But we end up getting our omelets. We sit down, have breakfast. I pitch him the idea. Later, we have a bunch of things throughout the day. We see each other that evening. He's like, hey, spoke to my wife. We think this is a great idea. How can I help? And he has his own businesses. He's provided me advice throughout the since we've started. His company's donated money to us, and it's just learning from other people. And one of the biggest things is just getting the confidence, because sometimes I'm in my own head like, oh, I don't know if this is a good idea or other people are going to believe in this. But my board, I have Jay Maselli, retired Army Colonel, Archie, former Canadian Army. All of them have been amazing in terms of their expertise, their leadership, mentorship, to give me not only the information I need to be successful, but the confidence that I'm doing the right thing with the right purpose for Whiskey Valor and veterans.
Outstanding. And amongst all of them, what was the best bit of advice that you got?
If you're doing it for the right reason, people will see that. Because again, because of work, I was off social media, so I've had to learn how social media works now. And I much rather do something and just move on from it. But as part of being a nonprofit, we have to photograph, we have to take videos, we have to tell the story of the impact we're doing. And for a while, it was like, I feel like that's just where we're pandering. I just want people, oh, hey, look what we did. But they're like, well, I see why you feel that way. But if we don't do that, people aren't going to give us money to continue doing those things. So them telling me, hey, as long as you're doing it for the right reason, people will see that. They'll see your passion. Don't think about hey, I'm just trying to do this for social media.
And not being on social media and trying to jump in and learn that monster, not just to get likes and such, but also to get that data that you need as a nonprofit in order to give your package to a donor. Say, this is our data points. This is who we're reaching, where we're reaching them, and the why we need you to come help us, like the Woodruff Foundation or whoever you're going to go with. If you talk to them, you're going to have that big data package, and that social media piece will really help you out there. And Salesforce, of course, or whatever database you're going to use.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, yeah. Again, still learning every day. And it's funny, I think if you had told me, a year ago, oh, is social media hard? I'm like, no, it's easy. But now that I'm doing it, newfound respect, and I understand why people get paid the money to do on social media, because it is a beast of a thing to take on.
And the ones that are making big money on it, that's all they do all day. They can't do anything else but make sure that they're putting the right product out there, the right content, and hitting the right algorithms. And knowing the algorithms is what's going to help you. And that's hard to stay on top of it because the algorithms change pretty much monthly, I believe. Because every time I think I got it, it changes. And I have to switch up something again to figure it out, or go ask a kid, hey, how do you get likes, man? They know everything.
Oh, yeah. When I first started, my buddy, Roberto, who helped us with our social media, get it built up, he was like, hey, man, you post like you're 30 years older than what you are. We need to sit down and have a talk. So he was able to get me on track. And again, I'm trying to learn what's cool and what's going to be successful still.
How to be hip.
Yeah.
and post at your own age level. That's a good thing. Don't post 30 years ahead of yourself. That could hurt pretty badly. But you'll get a different audience, obviously. But it might not be the one you're looking for.
Yeah.
You might get a BettyWhiteSingles.com and get them on there. It'll be weird. It'll just be weird.
Hey, if it's helping us help vets, hey, I'm okay with that.
Weird is good.
Yeah.
Well, I think one last question just popped in. Mel Money P. How do you balance your family life, demanding career, and nonprofit leadership without burning out? Great question, Mel Money.
Whew, so my wife's probably laughing upstairs. So I am still working on this because I can start a project and get real focused and excited about it and kind of work into the late hours of the night. But I'm trying to do better about setting boundaries and saying no. I'm bad at saying no to people. In the sense, like, Rich, you call me like, hey, I need help with this. Yes. What can I do to do that? Where sometimes I need to take a step back, like, well, as much as I want to help Rich, how's that going to impact my time, my family, this, like that? And, explain to Rich, hey, I can't do it because of this. It's not that I don't want to help you. I have a paper calendar, having worked in skiffs for like the last 12 years of my life, joke around that I'm an old man, I highlight and do all that stuff. So that keeps me on track. But I prioritize. I have lists of things, hey, I need to accomplish this today. And I kind of get satisfaction of scratching that thing off and giving the check. But doing my best with the task at hand, but then also getting that reality check from family and friends of, hey, am I doing too much of this or too much of that? And if something's ever falling through the cracks, having to have that real conversation with yourself to, okay, maybe we need to reevaluate how we're spending our time or the things we have on our plate. We might need to take something off.
Definitely. Even this morning, I think I texted you. It's probably 7:30 this morning. Hey, you want to come on tonight instead of? And you said yes. And then the second thing you asked me is, what do I need to do?
Yeah, so I should have asked you what do I need to do first before saying yes.
You said yes right away, and then, oh man, hey, what do I need to do? And I was trying to ease you up, say it's easy. All you gotta do is just be here, be motivated, do what you gotta do, sell your brand. And I was trying all day to do that. Then even when we came on there, am I good?
Yeah.
Yes, you're good. Like you just said, you just identified that same exact thing you did this morning. Yes. Wait a second. What do I need to do anyway?
Yeah. Again, it's something I need to work on as an individual. But I think it's also a good thing that's helped me get to where I'm at today, saying yes and figuring it out. But sometimes, especially with a new addition to the family, being more mindful of the time that I have and using it wisely.
Definitely. Lewis, as we start to wind down here, we always ask our audience, our guests, 2 questions to get the audience writing things down and such. First one is, how does anyone in the audience get in contact with you to maybe have you on their shows or just to chat with you like me and you just did?
Yeah, so anybody can take down my email. It's Luis, Luis, at whiskeyvalor.org. Or you can go to our Instagram is at Whiskey Valor. Same with Facebook, LinkedIn, look up Whiskey Valor Foundation. I'm running all the social medias right now. So if you message us on any of those, it'll come to me. And then as soon as I see it and I have time, I'll respond to you. I'm happy to speak with anyone. I don't know everything. We're still trying to learn. And the great thing about our mission is it's vague in the sense that we're using, we're helping veterans, but we're not helping with a specific thing, because what Rich needs to be helped or successful at is different from what I need. So we want to be able to adjust based on the needs of veterans. So let me know what's going on in your community, and maybe we can do a barrel to shed light on something that's impacting the veterans in your area that may not be affecting veterans where I'm at in Virginia.
Outstanding. I put all those links in the chat right now, and they've been scrolling across the bottom throughout the show as well. So if you didn't get them earlier, if you're watching the replay on video, they'll be there. If you listen to this on audio later, I'll have it in the show notes for you as well. Luis, the last question I'll ask you now. What's 3 things the Misfit Nation can start doing tomorrow to become better humans?
Call a friend. Be nice. And do something out of your comfort zone.
Nice. Get uncomfortable. Nice.
Yeah. Again, those are 3 things. If you had asked me earlier, probably be different. But I've noticed sometimes if you're just like, hey, nice about a situation, things will go a lot smoother than being upset going into it. But yeah, just this year has been 2025 for me personally has been getting out of my comfort zone. It's been scary, but so far things tend to be trending in the right direction. But if I wasn't willing to go past that moment of, hey, should you really be doing this? We wouldn't be at this moment where we are, today.
Exactly. Those 3 things again to remind you: phone a friend, Be nice. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. And do something out of your comfort zone. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's something I think everyone can take that to heart and do it, because a lot of things we do on a daily basis are you stay in your comfort zone all day. Look up from your phone, say hello to somebody. Maybe you just made their day and they'll stay with us a little longer. Luis, this has been great chatting with you tonight. Thank you again for taking the short notice live show tonight. Don't keep doing that. Thank you for doing it for me. Don't do it for everyone else, but yes, keep doing what you're doing, and I see nothing but success for you in the future. I can't wait to hang out with you in Colorado in a few weeks. Any final thoughts for the MisFitNation?
Yeah, right now we have our first single barrel that we release that's supporting VetMap, which is the organization that it kind of ultimately led to me starting Whiskey Valor. We selected a Garrison Brothers. Yes, I clearly like it and went through it, so far pretty well. But what's one thing we're doing uniquely different to us than a regular whiskey group is we do a limited edition challenge coin for every bottle. So yes, there's a higher price tag, but after you finish the bottle, you still have the coin to commemorate the single barrel and then the organization that you supported through the purchase of the bottle.
Outstanding. That's awesome. Everyone get to whiskeyvalor.org and see how you can help Luis spread the word and get more following, and maybe help him out with a barrel tasting and get him in your community to help your veterans do the best things they can do. Luis, this has been great. I'll see you in a couple weeks, brother.
Awesome. Thanks, Rich. Have a great rest of your evening.
You too. Good night, brother.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are
MisFitNation. MisFit.